Welcome to today's F1 news update. The drama continues in the paddock as Christian Horner faces a new legal challenge, now heading to Labour Court in 2026. And in another heated issue, FIA President Ben Sulayem stands by the decision to remove Johnny Herbert, citing a conflict of interest over his dual media and stewarding roles. Let's break down the details and explore what these developments mean for the sport. Sky F1 presenter Natalie Pinkham has opened up about the controversial conclusion to the 2021 Formula One season, sharing her perspective on how Sir Lewis Hamilton handled the dramatic defeat with extraordinary grace and dignity. One of the problems that I had with 2021 personally was I couldn't explain it to my kids. And if I can't explain it to my kids, how can we as broadcasters explain it to the viewers? Pinkham believes Hamilton's dignified response to defeat actually enhanced his global standing. I still contend to this day that Lewis walked away from that moment with more fans globally than if he'd won an 8th world title because of the way he handled it. It was just incredible. The Sky F1 presenter was also quick to emphasise that Verstappen deserved recognition for his performances throughout the season. This wasn't Max's fault, like Max was a deserved winner as well. It was a shame that it ended the way it did, because actually that overshadowed what was an epic year of racing. What do you think was the most defining moment of the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Lewis Hamilton described Ferrari's SF25 as massively different in characteristics compared to the Mercedes he drove for over a decade. He noted that adapting to a new car with different requirements has been a refreshing challenge. When asked about his experience of driving a Ferrari so far, he replied to media, "Well, firstly, they're very well built and massively different in characteristics." He also highlighted how the Ferrari engine sounds and behaves differently from what he was used to at Mercedes. "I've been driving Mercedes for so long, which was such a great power unit, and it's great to see that Ferrari also have a great power unit." Hamilton has been working closely with Ferrari's engine engineers to understand their approach to power and reliability, acknowledging that adapting to a new system is part of the learning process. And it's something that I'm, again, spending time with the engineers from the engine department and learning of the processes they take for reliability and power. That's a process in itself, but so far it's been really great. What do you think about Hamilton's transition to Ferrari? Do you believe his adaptation period will impact his early season performance? Günther Steiner fears Max Verstappen will become very difficult to manage at Red Bull if the team does not make a flying start to F1 2025. That comes after the admission from Red Bull technical director Pierre Wache that their new creation, the RB21, did not respond how the team expected at stages of the Bahrain test, leaving work to be done ahead of the season-opening Australian Grand Prix. Ex-Haas team boss Günther Steiner was asked how he thinks Max will react if things do not go his way at the start of F1 2025. But for sure, if he hasn't got a good car where he can win, he will get very difficult to manage as well, I would say, because he will be vocal about it, that he's not happy. And an unhappy Max is not a nice Max, as we all know. But he's a very good driver, I think the best in the moment. And for sure, he will put his effort in to win races, to win the championship again. But it will not be easy, as we saw last year. Steiner's advice to Max: to stay calm but don't throw the toys out of the pram after 2 races if it doesn't go your way. Do you think Red Bull can keep Max happy if the RB21 struggles at the start of 2025? Share your thoughts below. David Coulthard strongly dismissed Danica Patrick's claim that women lack the physical and mental attributes for Formula One, calling it utter bullshit. His comments fly in the face of former IndyCar driver Danica Patrick's belief that F1 is a step too far for women. Danica commented, "I think that the nature of the sport is masculine. It's aggressive. You have to, handle the car, not only just the car because that's skill, but the mindset that it takes to be really good is something that's not normal in a feminine mind, a female mind." She went on to declare that having a female in F1 is not important. "You're assuming that is important to me, and it's not." But while Patrick may not be interested in seeing women progress in Formula One, former McLaren and Red Bull driver David Coulthard believes they should and they could, as the claims that women do not have the strength, often said in relation to neck muscles, is just that bullshit. He pointed out that physical conditioning is key, not gender. It's not my opinion that there will be a woman in F1, it's just a fact, but I can't tell you right now who that person is. I assure you that every single F1 team would sign someone up right now if they thought they could get that person. Do you think the F1 grid will see a competitive female driver soon? Share your thoughts below. The Red Bull employee who accused Christian Horner of inappropriate behaviour has officially taken the case to the Labour Court, with the first hearing scheduled for January 2026. Despite Horner being cleared in both the internal investigation and subsequent appeal, the case has resurfaced, forcing him to defend himself in the English court system. The Telegraph revealed that a reporting restriction order, RRO, was issued by a UK court at Horner's request, effectively banning British media from reporting on the case. This explains why English newspapers abruptly stopped covering the story, even failing to provide details on the internal appeal that cleared Horner. The RRO remains in place, ensuring that British media cannot discuss the matter until further notice, though speculation within the paddock suggests Horner actively sought to suppress coverage. The employee appealed the decision, prompting a second investigation, which also resulted in Horner's acquittal. FIA President Ben Sulayem has doubled down on his justification for Johnny Herbert's dismissal from his role, pointing to what he describes as a clear conflict of interest. The FIA has weathered significant criticism regarding frequent changes to its stewarding personnel, with many in the paddock calling for greater continuity to ensure rulings remain consistent from one race to the next. According to Ben Sulayem, Herbert's simultaneous roles as both a steward and media pundit created an untenable situation. Johnny was an excellent commissioner, but there was a conflict of interest and he knows it. You can't be a journalist in a big company, express your point of view, and then be a commissioner. Who is a referee? The FIA president emphasised that stewards work on a pro bono basis and must maintain other income sources, but drew a line at journalism. Ben Sulayem claims Herbert accepted the decision graciously, stating he understood the reason for his exit from the scene and thanked the FIA for the opportunity. We thanked him for what he did. However, these assertions directly contradict Herbert's own public statements on the matter. The former F1 driver has repeatedly maintained that he could effectively separate his media duties from his stewarding responsibilities, remaining objective when serving in his official capacity. What's your take on this situation? That's a wrap on today's F1 controversy update. With Horner's case reopening in the courts and the debate over Herbert's removal intensifying, the future of F1 governance hangs in the balance. What do you think? Will the Labour Court hearing change the narrative for Horner? And should F1 stewards be allowed to juggle media roles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this update, be sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more breaking F1 news.